By gum love, welcome to new titles and tribbles, Dungeons and Dragons, high level adventure stream that we're doing. It's being run professionally, this ship, but the people doing that are out, so God just jumps in to do it instead. I'm joined by Josh. Say hello.
Tally-ho.
Tally-ho. Also joined by Ben.
Oh, hoi hoi.
And I'm also joined by Martin, who doesn't really speak proper Yorkshire on account of him from being up north.
Good evening, ladies and non-ladies.
Okay. That's a way to get yourself a disinvite. You're not quite sure how Darion broke his neck. He probably fell off Greygor. But there we go. There we have it. Right, okay, so anyway, yeah, thank you for joining us. And I suspect you're not going to be around for much longer after that lot. Thank you for watching it.
Yeah, I think I upset Ben, guys. I'm sorry.
And we had a title sequence. So the music is actually free music, royalty free from YouTube. But the artwork that you see through that is by... Have we even done the intro? We haven't done the intro. Anyway, so we had a slight problem there in that Discord messed around for about an hour. Excuse me. But we're back now. So I am joined by Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Great. Ben. Say hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Martin. Say hi, Martin.
Hi, Martin.
Right, you're supposed to be snappier. So the story so far. What happened last session? You guys investigated the village of Marion. You found a bizarre necromantic ritual which seemed to be transforming the bodies of villagers into undead. They all had little black opals in their eyes. There were some, I think as a working hypothesis of golems that were there. Golems, not golems. And there were bags from which the bits had all been taken. And they were beneath the village, being taken, it looks like, down the well. And they were placed as if they were beneath the houses. And they were in various states of ghoulness. You took them out, you put some stones on them, you got some funereal rites, and you think that by taking away the black opals, it stopped them transferring into undead. And in the centre of the bodies was what you suspect were big black opals. Okay. And the brigands headed off into the forest, and there was a ranger came and had a chat with you, and she's gone off to try to find out where in the forest those brigands may have gone. You then headed back to the city of Saradush, where Diego got a sense of buyer's remorse. Because it's maybe not quite the jewel in the crown of Circazar that he expected. But you triumphed your way in there. Caught in a cold and drafty castle, having witnessed a whole village being turned into the damned, Diego decided that was exactly the right time to assert himself with his uncle. Because he had all his reserves of energy, he had a plan, and he decided that was where it was at to do that. Darion and Orcs, having had similar experiences, decided that was exactly the right time to assert themselves on the mushroom patch and kick it into oblivion. What nobody actually knows is in the code of laws for the Saradush city is mushroom defacing is like a capital crime. It's right up there.
We can rejig that law.
Yeah,
it's a capsule crime. It begins with M for mushroom murder.
Now, at least we learned that Tef has Diego's back in his possible tussle with his uncle. Okay, so in terms then of how that kind of left you with renown, you have improved your renown with Callum Shan by a point, everybody, and Imric's Sunrunner, who's the kind of captain of the border forces of Callum Shan, border of the county, is an ally. He has a friendly outlook, a friendly kind of status towards you because you've treated him fairly and you've demonstrated your kind of credentials in terms of trying to lead the county. So he's well disposed towards you at present. And you've improved your renown with the rural folk as word has spread of your actions in the south. You were there, you were kind of polite, you were trying to help them, you were leading your forces against the brigands. And Diego has improved his renown with the citizens due to his entrance into the city. There was enough pomp and ceremony there that they kind of think that it was an alright show. It cost 1,500 gold, but he's improved his renown there. Okay.
Right, start off my character sheet.
Yeah. Get it crossed off. And we find our heroes a couple of 10 days later than we left them. It's a month of Uktar, November, and Diego has not seen his uncle since the night of the altercation.
Ooh.
Darion and Ox are enveloped in the routines of their own duties. This day starts as it normally does, where Diego goes into the main hall and has audience with whatever petitioners there are invited on the list. Chancellor Praxin usually kind of chairs this and calls the petitioners forward and offers advice to Diego, who dispenses county justice as he's allowed. Have you guys frozen, or is it just me? Right, we're still having some problems, aren't we? You have come back to me.
Right, yep.
Did you catch all the audio?
You were speaking in Dalek for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys were talking in Dalek back to me just then as well.
Yeah.
So clearly the servers are struggling handling stuff. Okay. The recording will be fine because the recording will just get the local audio. So what did you hear?
Nothing.
After
After
he's not seen his
a
uncle
few
for a month,
months since the chat with Diego's uncle.
That's
Yeah.
what, yeah.
and we've both been wrapped up in our own duties, and then that was about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So one of Diego said the day starts, as it normally does for Diego, where he goes down to the Great Hall of the castle in Saradush and he dispenses Count Justice. It's normally chaired by Chancellor Praxin, who gets up 3 days beforehand to make sure it's in the Chancellor in the room.
He sleeps there.
And but this day is unusual. You Diego, as you're kind of heading down there, Tef has decided that she doesn't want to partake in the audience. Darion is off at
I don't
Castle
blame
Bazaar. Ox is over by his own location, which still lacks a name. And there's a flurry of excitement that has not been seen in Saradush since Chancellor Praxin's original wife died. You're informed. That's a long time ago. You were informed that there's an emissary of the Caliphate expecting audience with the Count. And it is a very long time. Oh, it's a long time, I tell thee, Diego. A really long time since we've had a smoke method in the court of Saradush. As you enter the chamber, you see the kind of smoke rising off a figure in the milling crowd, and you hear, "Count, darling, you look as dashing as the Ifrit said you would." And forward steps a smallish, not much larger than a dwarf, and certainly not stocky figure with smoke rising off. He's got really kind of long, potent noise that smoke rises off. He's got what would be the smoky garments that look kind of grey underneath, and he's got around his neck, the only solid thing is this chain that's clearly kind of got the seal of Kalim Shan on it and the gold links that set him out to be some form of emissary or ambassador. He's got a really long tapering cigarette holder on the end of which there's just a roll, and as he kind of takes it, as he inhales, he blows out this huge billowing cloud of smoke that envelopes the whole end of the chancellor of the chamber. Which coughs. It's got a quite refreshing smell about it. A bit cinnamony, a bit jasmine, a bit
It's vaping.
yeah, essentially. Yes, my darling count. I say. I am Sreech. I am the ambassador from the court of Kalimshan. That statue that they have of you. Over in the jungle of Chult, that doesn't do you justice. You've got a much tighter arse, and he kind of goes to pat it, and you're covered in this kind of like wreathing smoke as it kind of goes up and around you.
You spent some time at the Order of the Gauntlet.
No, I would not be seen dead with those clumping fools. No, I'm immortal. You see, I've served the court of Kalimshan for almost 5,000 years, and whilst I'd rather be back home. What I get to see is you people making a mess of things and repeating the same mistakes from just a few hundred years ago. I guess that's a curse of mortality, isn't it?
We can't all be immortal.
No. Well, and you could be. You could be, but that'd be an awful amount of lichens hanging around, wouldn't there? let's face it.
No, lichens would be worried.
Now, Captain Imric's Sunrunner dispatched me up here, and I'm jolly glad to say I've come along. Though I'm going to base myself, I think, not in the castle. I think I'll find myself some quarters out in the city, where I'll probably stay more
You're
permanently.
certainly welcome to a room until you find accommodation suitable to your taste.
Oh, well. I don't know that Lady Tefnacra will mind sharing a bed, but, I suspect the county beds are pretty good, eh? And he kind of puts his arm on you. It's like really insubstantial. And as he kind of moves it off, it wafts around. There's this just smoke follows and billows around him. Now, I understand, and he leans in, there's a prisoner exchange to be made.
I lean back, because he's in my personal bubble now.
So, yeah, so I'm to interview this slave fellow, and you're to take receipt of this prisoner. Is that right?
Well, why are you here in the first place then? Surely, being a member of Kalimshan, you'd surely have interviewed him while he was still in Kalimshan.
Oh no! This is the runaway slave, as you remember. Captain Imric said that in exchange for me being allowed to interview this ne'er-do-well, you would we'll hand across to you the brigand that we captured.
Well, we need to find him first.
But the slave? Well, we know exactly where he is. He's not very far away at all. You've got to give permission so I can have audience with him.
Let's make it so.
Excellent, thank you. Well, don't worry your codpiece about anything more. It'll all be taken care of.
My codpiece has a lot to worry about right now.
I can imagine he bows and this smoke billows off him. He kind of walks back and the scent lingers around. Okay. The rest of the business is
cigar smoke here.
yeah. The rest of the business is fairly mundane, but there's quite a stir, quite a kind of lot of words and kind of a lot of chat. I've not seen that for how many years is it since there was an emissary from Kalimshan here? Are we still technically at war with them? Chancellor Praxton, technically we are, but what else? He doesn't say what else, but there's always an exchange of prisoners and need for a back channel of communication. Now, my lord, the next order of business, and you just kind of get on with kind of the business as you require. I'm not going to kind of do everything in slow time, given that we lost an hour. But you have a brigand that was captured by the Kalishites, and essentially you can head down to the border to pick him up, or you can send your people. So what do you want to do, Count Diego? Count Circazar?
I think I'll send some people.
Yep, okay. And to where would you like the brigand taken?
To the dungeon. Do you have a dungeon?
The dragon in the dungeon. No. Praxin, any suggestions? Any recommendations? Any 5-star reviews?
Well, my lord, this is like after the main audience in the antechamber, the private chamber. Sorry, we have rather limited interviewing capacity here. I would suggest that down at the castle of Ilkazar would not be a bad place. It's more fortified. There's the Order of Gauntlet there, and surely there'll be somebody there who can cast some Zone of Truth or what other spell that's available.
Would that not be a bit more of a trek? That's surely how many days ride from Saradush?
It's like a day. You said it's down. It's a couple of days tops. The castle of Ilkazar.
I mean, it's going to take a few days for the prisoner to be retrieved anyway, right?
It's about 3 days from the border. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pack our bags.
Okay, you are bag packing. So who's going to go with you? So sorry. Okay, Praxin's going to go. Okay,
Yeah.
add a day to that estimate.
About a year.
Yeah, no, he's on quick time. Click as a quick. Click as a quick. Click. Quick as a click. Or as a Praxin does it. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody's like, are you just going in slow motion? It's like, no, this is the fastest I move.
I'll ask Tef if she'd certainly wish to
She's well up for it.
join us, and also the possibility of going hunting, which I'm sure she'd be quite keen on.
Hunting. Or should I say, hunting? Okay, anyone else?
Is Ox available?
You don't know.
I presume
You
Darion
check his
will-
calendar.
Yeah.
It's all booked up with dragon stuff. You don't know what that means.
Yeah, we've all got pretty much copies of each other's diaries. So it's, that's what Ox is doing.
Shared WhatsApp group. You can dispatch a courier off to wherever he lives because nobody knows its name.
It's called Tumahab.
Tumahab.
Yep.
How are you spelling that?
Balmut backwards.
Yeah, because reversing the name of your patron is not ever going to be end in tears.
No.
Tumahab. Okay, cool. Where we do all the Bahamut things backwards. Okay. Yeah, okay, so you dispatch a courier to Tumahab. Tumahab Gandhi. And you make your way down to Castle Ilkazar, dispatching some people to go and get this guy and bring him back.
You could have left your mark on the world. You could have just put your name and rest.
Okay. So moving on then. So Castle Ilkazar is a huge fortress. If you think of any of the large, so the layout is exactly the same as Conway Castle, and it perches on an outcropping of rock that dominates the landscape. You can kind of see this thing from miles around. It's got these huge curtain walls, these substantial towers. The pennants of the Order of the Gauntlet hang from them. There's a lot of toing and going. The village of Ilkasar lays a little bit further down. One part of the castle is surrounded by a river that swings around, but it's all on this sheer rock. It would take a substantial amount of sieging to kind of take the castle. There's all the kind of magical accoutrements that you'd expect to have in terms of defences, so it's defended from attacks from the sky as much as it is from the ground, and there's quite a substantial force of heavily armed knights within the castle as well. As you're riding down, you'll be greeted by a patrol. The patrols have been upped recently, primarily focused on the border regions, the border marchers off to the east. But you're greeted about a day outside of the castle by a group of 10 plate mail armoured warriors of the Order of the Gauntlet who immediately recognise you. My lord.
And who am I addressing?
I am rank that I can't recall. Marchion Galpan.
Galathan. Greetings.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Do you
We're
need
here
escort?
Please, we're here to pick a prisoner.
Of course. From where do you need escorts to?
To the castle.
They form up around you and kind of move along. You're going at a fairly steady canter. There's not very much traffic, and whatever traffic there is the last vestiges of the crops being gathered in, and any that are coming for trade and export. Quite a lot of fleeces being kind of brought through, or bundles of those, and the troop are courteous but assertive in how they ride. They're a very well organised, well arranged, look to be quite capable group of soldiers. There's very little chit chat, very little chatter, so it's pretty disciplined. You hear them humming one of Darion's favourite tunes at a couple of the breaks, whatever he's kind of done there in extracurricular activities seems to be rubbing off a little on them.
Well, that's good news.
And you kind of head to the castle, this substantial holding. You're kind of shown straight through. A messenger is dispatched through to you, Darion. You're in deep administration with the White Hawk, Killeen, White Hawk Killeen, who is very incredibly capable. She's going through all of the accounts, and everything looks to be in order. You've not yet met the Vindicator. He's still been out in his holdings in the Protectorate of Mintar. And you're falling into some steady routines. You've had to improve a few things, change some of the focus, but by and large, it looks like it's a reasonably established thing. And you're getting some of the administration the Order Gauntlet wants back at its central base established. Some of the key resources you've got the teleportation circle that will take you back to Eltergard. You do have a number of clerics that would be capable of casting Zone of Truth. You do have some holding cells that are not substantial, and you've got enough supplies in to last through the winter if you needed to do that. Okay. Cool. Lord Castellan, Lord Count Circazar is abroad in the courtyard. Where would you like me to take him?
Oh, Diego. Send him up.
Okay. They head down. Diego, you're shown through a substantial courtyard, through another curtain wall into an inner courtyard, and then into the main keep. And you're just kind of shown as everybody recognises you. It's unusual that you are recognised, but everybody in this facility recognises you, stops and pays a degree of salute to you and to kind of your entourage. Chancellor Praxin is like well behind. He can't move this quickly. A couple of the others are going to get a litter for him and kind of start to carry him along. He's like, "Woo! This is great. I haven't had this much since my fourth wife died." On the way down, he told you about the mistress he had between his third wife and his fourth wife. He had a couple of mistresses. One of which he still has on the go, but he's thinking about changing her out for a second mistress. He's currently in a bit of a beta test to see whether he wants to or not. Once the transition.
Have you ever thought about remarrying, Praxis?
Oh no, he's already married. This is on his fifth wife at the moment.
Oh.
He really likes his fifth wife. It reminds me of his second wife without a lot of the aggro and like pernickety stuff. He described it as being kind of like old school marriage, but kind of modern sensibilities when it comes to rules. Just carrying that edition vibe going forward. He says, "Oh, my current wife always slaps me when I talk about my old wives." But he kind of leans on, but I like it. So it's starting to open out his old Chancellor of Praxis.
I was about to say, Praxis, I think you enjoy it.
He says, "You know what, Diego, my Lord Count, I think you might be right." I don't know what you guys want to do. If anything, you've got a couple of days more or less to kill before the captured brigand is going to be brought back. Ox, you're in Tumahab, and a courier arrives and says Lord Count wishes the presence of his marshal at the castle of Ilkazar.
I think Ox will probably go alone to this,
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
so he'll head over. He'll leave everyone else busy working.
Resmi is leading the main company up that's doing the road and stuff like that, and she's proven to be quite a valuable member. She takes the edge off a number of the more extreme Dragonborn, like your barbarian brother, who who's always been a struggle in the off season.
Yeah.
But Resmi seems to be able to channel him and channel their energies into kind of constructive tasks. She says, "Let's make work of idle hands before Tiamat does."
Before idle hands make work of you.
Yeah. So you're going to probably arrive the day that the brigand arrives, just because of the time it takes you to kind of ride through there. Anything you particularly want to do on the journey, by the way?
On the journey, what's en route? Is it? I thought it was mainly just like wilderness and a long road.
It's primarily farmlands, arable farmlands, moving into some pasture lands as you kind of move further east. Everybody stays away from you. You walk into a village, everybody's kind of like getting the children, bringing them back. A couple of villagers offer the children the sacrifices for you to move on. I
was go around putting leaflets in about the word of Balmont in everyone's door.
Yeah. Okay. Anything that you guys want to do, Diego and Darion, other than kind of maybe chill, pass the time, crack open some product placement?
I guess I just want to show him around the castle and wonder how his endeavours are getting on, and share how mine are as well.
My uncle is giving me a migraine.
How so?
By the powers of dark magic.
All that aside, have you had any news regarding the Vindicator?
I still have not met the man yet. I thought it was curious he hasn't returned to the fortress in quite some time.
I'd have thought he'd be here for your arrival to the castle, surely.
I was hopeful. I was hoping he'd at least be here within a few weeks of my arrival, at least. Oh, by the way, how's our other extracurricular activities going on? You know how me and Diego both tried to establish connections with other characters?
Yeah, they're underway. It's only been 2 weeks.
Ah. Right. Oh, and I just
Any
want to...
news on finding out about Lord
Breakbones.
Breakbones? Yeah.
Yeah, he is Lord. He's not Captain. Commander? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. He's not that anymore. Lord Breakbones. That is also to be seen, I imagine. To be continued.
Praxis, do you know any of that? Oh, Praxis, do you know any of that name?
I love that he calls him Praxis when his name isn't it Praxis?
Praxin.
Yeah. It's called his name wrong the entire time.
Yeah. You want to hear what his
He
third,
did brag
you want to hear what his second wife called him. He kind of shuffles in. Yeah, you called my lord. I don't know what accent I'm getting in before. For this episode, this is what he's got.
Breakbones, name ring a bell?
Oh, the Breakbones. Yeah, they're a family. The White Hawk Colleen, who's a lady who sat at the desk that you're all chatting in front of. She says, "Yeah, we've got some notes on him as well." Kind of pulls out a folder, and what you kind of.
That was easy, Darion. Why didn't you just do that?
Well, he was a member of the Order of Gauntlet. So between Chancellor Praxin and the White Hawk from the Order of Gauntlet, you learn that he was the last son of some minor nobility within the county of Circazar, and that his manorial holdings are called Euphemia, the manor Euphemia, and they're on the far west side of the county, where it borders the county of the other county that direction, whose name I did write down but can't bring to mind. And they made their name primarily in really fine, refreshing fruit juices. He was a very capable leader of men within some of the battles that were fought in recent times, leading some of the Order of Gauntlet there. And he was then posted off to the jungles of Chult. He had a sister and a older brother. The older brother died, and nobody really knows what happened to the sister. The manor lands are still maintained by tenant farmers, is the view.
Well, do with that what you will, dear. With that what you will, Darion.
That's a major data protection breaching we just did.
And at the point that GDPR stretches itself
I was
through
going to say
the Forgotten
GDPR.
Realms, then I'll report it to the ICO, and we'll see what they say about it. But up until that point in time, until the legislative vehicle for the protection of Commander Breakbones' personally identifiable data is in place, he can go fuck himself, alright? There is no right to be forgotten in the Order of a Gauntlet. It's how they roll.
Go.
You spend a couple of days catching up. Ox arrives the morning that the Brigand is brought in. The Brigand's brought in a kind of covered chamber and a covered wagon and taken down to the holding cells. What do you want to do in terms of the interrogation?
We can drop a zone of truth on it.
Okay.
Can I requisition a clerk?
Yeah.
Are you going to do good cop, bad cop?
I mean,
So who do you want to be present at the interrogation?
Well, all three of us, obviously.
So this guy is the bandit.
I mean, the plot demands that the three of us be involved with it.
Plot demands nothing.
So who would it be most important for to be there? So we were all there at the village.
Teth? Question mark?
Tess not interested.
I don't think I
fine.
terribly. White Hawk Colleen. Probably Mansion Colleen as well, just because he follows me everywhere.
Yeah. It's taking his red most of the time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of anyone else I could link back to that village that would be interested in seeing it, but I don't think they're here
The
really.
sheriff isn't here, is he?
We don't have the sheriff. We don't have the ranger. We told the ranger to meet us here, though. Still no word from her then.
Nope.
No.
Probably dead.
Just have Praxin in and just tell him Praxin's like some wicked like alchemist who's gonna like poison him slowly, and just have him walking across the room slowly towards him, just to build the pressure.
Some lingering death.
Yeah.
The brigand dies of old age before Apraxian gets there.
Yeah, I guess just the characters and the killings. I don't see any reason for my family to be there.
No, neither can I. Okay.
If you drag him on guards, that's get really, really oppressive on him.
Okay, so you're all
Nothing too vicious.
1, 2, 3, 4,
He's on it.
No, that's just for
5,
show.
6. So that's 6 of you then.
We need someone to cast Zone of Truth.
Yeah, including the cleric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So so you're taken down, and you kind of look through the bars of the cell, and you see this brigand kind of like hunched over, not even coming up to Darion's shoulder as much as anything else. And he's dirty and he's filthy, and he's got quite a slightly haggard face. He's got quite a pointed face, quite a pointed chin, and he's got slightly longer ears that come to a point, and he's got a slightly elongated snout. Like his nose is kind of like almost like a snout at the end, flat there, and he's just making boy noises. Like that.
Is he a half orc?
Is he an orc?
Is he part demon? I'm going to divine sense him.
You can divine sense him, okay? He doesn't ping for any of the conditions required for divine sense. Everybody can make insight rolls if you want.
Yeah.
Anthropology.
What's wrong with this guy?
Anybody with an anthropology kit can add that as a bonus. I know Ox has written one down from like 15 sessions ago.
So that's a flat 10.
12.
Insight. 4.
Ox reckons is a very attractive human as he assesses these things. And your best guess is human.
My best guess is he's mad.
Certainly there's some character there.
Character.
And he's kind of rubbing his arms as well. And he kind of turns around. I can hear you. I can smell you.
I
I
guess
just think that smelled pretty good, thank you.
walking into the room then.
As soon as Marcion Killeen walks in, he goes and starts to rub his winky, as I believe is called. Not like knocking one off, but definitely playing with.
Okay.
Smells his hand.
Can we bind him to the table? Like, just...
Can I just grow in and grab him out of scruffing it and just like hold him up?
Oh yeah. He kind of like cowers. He cowers away from you, but not very effectively. You just grab him. You can pick him up like that.
I'll just like dangle him in Diego's face.
Thank you, Ross. Like hold him by the back of the neck while you're tackling him in front of me.
I'm going to look over to the cleric and gesture that cast the spell.
The cleric starts casting. And the cleric casts the spell and nods to you.
Well, it makes certainly a lot of noise, Darren. I'll certainly talk.
So they're convinced it's successful then, the clerics can... Because that's the thing whether they passed or failed, yeah? Yeah, okay. Okay then, so I'll look up. So, you are one of the... Oh, what's the name of the village? I don't know the name of the village.
He was captured before the attack on the village. So you know the Kalashites captured him when there was an attack on one of their villages.
Okay. So, you are one of the brigands that was terrorizing the southwest of... is it still in Circazar? No.
It was near the village of Marion.
You were one of... So you're one of the villager... one of the village... Are you one of the brigands who was terrorizing the villagers to the south of this fort?
I know. Don't know. South. What south?
You were in Calamtown, were you not?
I came down through the mountains where the ogres are. They made me come down. And I joined up with a wolf.
A wolf?
Yeah, elf wolf. Elf wolf. His band. He gave me sword to hit and kill and get women. Women. Oh, I like women. Oh, they smell so nice. Oh, they feel so nice. Oh.
While he's rambling, I'm backhand.
And starts to dribble a little bit.
And Diego backhanded him.
Bad. Why are you hurting? It was a wolf, elf wolf.
Did he turn into a wolf?
What kind of craziness is that? He says. It's called the wolf. Raz called him wolf. Raz called wolf. Raz.
And there's more than just you two. There's other people as well.
Lots of us. 1, 2, more than 2, lots more than 2. No women, apart from one woman. Beautiful woman. He starts to really play with himself.
What about the woman?
Woman, beautiful woman, beautiful. Raz keeps beautiful woman. He's starting to get a little bit erect and he's starting to masturbate.
A backhand.
I'm gonna I'll drop him to his knees, get his hands behind his back. So he's caught there now, just staring up at Diego.
Beautiful woman. Raz keeps a beautiful woman. Not allowed beautiful woman. No. Vitus not allowed beautiful woman.
What does this woman look like?
Hold it to his penis. Tell us about the elf. Tell us about the woman.
Woman, blonde.
Or you won't have a Willy left to play with.
Blonde. Raz keeps woman, not allowed. Raz is the leader. Wolf sent his men into the forest. But I don't know where. Can't tell you. If you let me go, maybe I'll find. Find woman. I can smell woman.
Do you know her name?
He tries to turn around to where Marchion, where Whitehawk Colleen is. She's a munter, but she's got the luscious juice.
I put a bit more pressure on the blade against his penis.
Three places. He's got 3 places. Raz. 3 camps. I tell you, let me go. Don't know. I wasn't told. But I've got big secret. You take knife off cock. Give woman, let me free. I tell secret. Flighters tell secret. Flighters important now. Oh yeah. Oh, flighters important. Flight. You take.
Were you involved in village raids?
Yeah, that's where the women are. So, but not allowed to hurt. Not allowed to hurt. Not allowed to hurt. No.
You won't be able to do anything without a penis either.
Ah, Winky, Winky, need Winky. Oh, I like Winky. Winky good when rubbed. Oh, yeah.
This guy's just creeping me out.
I know, right?
I got a secret. 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 You promised. Let go. You let me go. 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 Secret. 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 Secret.
You're a village without anyone there.
Huh? Raz, not flighters. Raz, do that. Raz, and pretty lady, pretty lady.
Ox, would you mind cutting off his genitals?
Where's Flash?
Okay. I overheard. Raz, the wolf.
I was thinking your axe could cauterize the wound, you see.
I wanted to spray on pretty lady. So I sneaked in to try and get a glimpse of pretty lady, but Wolf and Raz, and Wolf said, "Yeah, you're not the man you used to be," and Raz said, "That's because I'm no longer a man."
What did he say you were?
And his voice made me go soft. It was too scary. His noise made me go soft. And that's it. And Wolf left. And I saw Raz. I saw him. Don't make me go back to Raz.
Who is Raz?
He lead. He could be lady. No.
You said he was called Wolf.
No, Wolf's the elf. And apparently Raz is something to do with necromancy shenanigans.
Where did Wolf go?
I don't know.
Describe Raz to me.
It's
Look at him again.
elf height. It's not got snout, no, got ears. It's
No nose?
Nose. Yeah, not like Blighter's nose. Blighter's has mongrel nose. He's starting to kind of like get and curling up into a little bit of a ball.
Snake nose?
I don't know anymore. Let me go. Raz is gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me.
Well, if you're scared of Raz, then here's surely the safest place for you.
He's gonna kill me in the darkness of the night and rip out my heart and feed on it.
Where is Raz?
The guy, the priest who's doing the Zone of Truth is like, I've got a fucking clue what's going on.
But is that all truthful?
He is not signaling that he doesn't sincerely believe whatever he's told you to be the truth. I don't know where Raz is.
Do you know the name
He's got 3 caps. Oh, what?
Raznisi.
He looked completely blank. I see Raz. Yeah, you see Raz. See Raz.
I'm not sure we're going to get much more out of him.
Ox, I'd appreciate any suggestions.
Don't cut off my balls. How else am I going to spray?
I say we throw him from the ramparts. Unless he gives us anything more useful.
I don't know.
Do you think you could lead us back to one of your camps?
I don't know. Yes. And the cleric signals lie.
Well,
I could take you now. I could take her now. I could take you now.
I cut an inch off.
no, you're not fine.
Are you? Are you cutting an inch off?
Yeah.
He hasn't got very many of them. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, he's going to bleed to death.
Are you actually?
Nah.
What are you doing, guys?
I don't think we're going to get much more out of him now. We'll keep him here for the time being, though. And we'll look into these two figures, I guess. And feed him, I guess.
Okay. You head back up to the main area.
So an elf called Wolf.
And someone called Raz.
And there's 3 camps.
And a woman.
Didn't really get that much out of him.
Right, but you were talking while we were there, Diego.
Hmm?
There's a figure in Schultz that sounds like it could be this Raz person.
Raznasi.
Welcome back, everybody. We're having some substantial Discord issues. We're not having any Discord issues. Discord is having issues, and therefore there's not much we can do. And we're kind of like... Because the next session that we're going to be doing is going to be a Christmas special, which is going to be the Before We're Famous session. So I want to get to a certain point in the story before we kind of have to skip essentially a month before we play again. So... I may move us at an accelerated pace, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Diego? You held the head of Tefnaka in your hands, blood dripping from her neck.
Man, this is such
I
a
drink
railroading
overnight.
campaign.
So you strike the final blow to Ox, Darion.
As if.
Oh!
Oh, I mean, I got very see.
I repulse.
A few days pass as you're kind of like in the Castle of Ilkazar. You try to kind of go through the resources that are available to you, but nobody really knows much about an elf called the Wolf or Raz or anything like that. There's clearly the link back to Chult in terms of the Raz there, and you recall the blue triangles that were on the heads of the undead and such like. The ranger returns. She returns to Castle Ilkazar. And she makes her report, and the summary of the report, which I would have ordinarily role-played out using my best female ranger voice, but I'm just going to
Talk
kind
to
of...
me, Alf.
The brigands, is Ranger Maleki, by the way, the brigands are holed up in a network of caves within the forest of Mir. The gnomes, and you recall she went to a forest gnome village. The gnomes believe it's an abandoned dwarven holdfast. The only known entrance is behind a waterfall with a single file path to it, and the gnomes think that there's fresh water within the cave complex. It's incredibly easy defended, the ranger says. It's a really kind of steep path to kind of get up to there, and they're able to block the door, and if it is a dwarven hold, then it would have defensible positions within it. It would be a real challenge to siege, and the forest is not conducive to a logistical train that you would require to have to siege it. She has considered whether a small group would be able to infiltrate, but she doesn't have any knowledge of what may lay beyond, how far within the system they are, and so on. So you debate the merits and demerits of whether it would be sensible to kind of send yourselves and kind of go and to kind of ambush thing, and that takes maybe a couple of days because you've got other duties. You know, the count's not the business of the count is not stopped, the business of the castle's not stopped, and the increased patrols that Darion instigated on the border have started to bear fruit. And in particular, a group of 13 smugglers have been captured and have been brought before Darion as the Castellan of Ilkazar. And what's interesting about these individuals, as you're kind of going through, is that they're smuggling black opal gems.
Okay.
There's a combination of the small gems that you found on the eyes of the undead, and there are a couple of the larger black opals that were embedded in what you believe were the golems. The smugglers are pretty quick to give up information. They don't really seem to have any great loyalty to the cause. Essentially, what they say to you is that the supply of opals was to a buyer at the manor of Euphemia, which is in about 10 days was when they were going to make their transaction. You know that Euphemia is the ancestral home of Commander Now's Breakbone. As Darion is digesting this, another courier arrives and hands you to Darion a letter. It bears the Dark Blade sigil.
Oh, so I know this isn't from Diego.
Nobody else. You don't see the sigil or anything along those lines. This is in a packet of letters that's handed across to Darion, who kind of like has a look through it. He stops because Darion's got about as good a poker face as Kenny has, and he kind of like pauses, immediately looks up to Diego, and kind of puts his head down a little bit. What do you want to do with this?
I'm definitely going to open it and read it.
My dear Darion, it starts. I have always served Her Majesty in a true and lawful manner, though I know she maintains otherwise. Still, it is not mine to control the voice of popular opinion, nor who, of whatever rank, may be influenced by it. As I am sure you are learning, those of us who do not seek power often have it thrust upon us, and in doing so must execute a duty that we perhaps would prefer fall to those better suited for it. I fear that my nephew is being swayed by some of those self-same voices that turned Her Majesty against me. Diego, you look at Darion, kind of like looks up at you as he's reading. But I know that you are of true heart and judgment, and would not cast a man out of favour based upon anything but observed fact. I also know of your hunt against the wolf's men. My own agents in the field tell me that he is leaving whatever lair, I know not where, to take receipt of goods from our enemies to the east. Excuse me. He will be wintering at the manor of Euphemia. Perhaps you can bring him to justice and make mention of my aid in your report to Her Majesty and my nephew, the Count. Yours in service, D. Not DD, the chambermaid, just the letter D.
DD, the secretary.
Yeah, actually DD, the secretary.
So I'll hand the letter over to Diego. I'm going to be like, most of it's flattery, but read the bottom few sentences. And I'm kind of half convinced it's not him that wrote it. Like it's too suck-up-ish for Danolo, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
How would he know about the wolf?
He's got his own spy network.
Need to sort out our own supplies.
They're both working on it. Darion and Diego are trying to achieve something.
So yeah, what do you make of that, Diego?
Oof.
A hat, brooch, pterodactyl.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's definitely not handwritten. That's not his handwriting.
No, it is his handwriting, and it's his sigil, and it's his seal, and it's his signet ring. You notice one of the one of the marks from where he's caught it on something.
Well, he seems to love you a lot more than he loves me.
Well, he's trying to ingratiate himself into you via Darion.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the case, Diego.
I mean, the fact it's written on human skin in the blood of innocence. That's just Danolo, isn't it?
I feel like Danolo is going to be this very morally questionable character that's going to be very helpful a lot of the time.
He's going to be that one in a video game or like in anything where you always question him and like, oh, he's evil, and then it actually turns out he's like doing it all for the greater good.
His tragic backstory. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guess we've
His
better
tragic
get
backstory
moving
where
on.
he couldn't quite find a vessel for his soul those 5 years. Okay, what are you doing, guys?
So seeing
I think
as
we should act on it.
seeing as attacking the
The Dwarven whole pass of
yeah,
the suicide.
incredibly
It'd be
difficult.
better to cut off this wolf at the manor of Euphemia, maybe.
Yeah,
Captured in there.
and send these smugglers to meet justice.
That's
Whatever.
what I named my axe.
The usual protocol is, or at least has been under the Vindicator, that if smugglers are caught, if their goods are confiscated, and if they provide information about who the buyer was, then they tend to have a leniency. Usually there'll be some enforced labour for a period of time, depending upon what the nature is that they're smuggling. If they're smuggling items that would threaten the security of the realm, then they tend to be treated in a different way. But as far as they're concerned, they're smuggling gems. They didn't want to pay the import tax on these gems.
And that's what they maintain. And that's definitely the case.
You can
when
zone
they
of
put under a
truth
zone
them,
of
zone of
truth.
truth them, and that's exactly the case. As far as they're concerned, an order was placed. They're fulfilling that order through illegal means, but they don't understand anything other than the fact that they're taking some valuable gems without paying.
Can they tell us where they
duty.
acquired these gems from?
From markets within the Protectorate Mintar, from the gem market within Mintar.
Fine. Well, it's not like they were smuggling drugs. They're smuggling like something that could threaten the entirety of. I mean, I don't think I'm being overly dramatic. The realms.
They also maintain. No, I packed my own case.
How often have they been the same smugglers that have done each drop?
No, this
Have
is
they
the
done it
first time
before?
that they've made this particular deal.
So we're going to have to masquerade as the smugglers.
None of them are 8 foot tall.
And Dragonborn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you'd be a very good smuggler.
The wolf doesn't know that. Hey, but who's going to argue with a smuggler who's 8 foot tall and a dragonborn?
A 9
The
foot
most
tall.
well-known Dragonborn. Yeah, we better just mobilise and get over to hit up our old pal, old buddy, Breakbones. Before we go, is there any sort of, I don't think this is quite the right term, but like, warrant, if need be, to forcibly enter the
manor of Euphemia.
You are a living warrant.
But in that area, because does my
It's within the
stretch
county.
that
Your
far?
jurisdiction is kingdom wide.
Oh.
You are essentially the only individual that carries that.
Oh yeah, because I've got the whole Order of the Gauntlet thing and the Hawk of Alamander.
That's right, yeah.
Right.
And like the Canadian Mounties, you don't need a warrant for searching. Enter.
Darion's a mountie.
He's got a horse. He's got a nice little hat. It's
lawful good.
it's lawful good. It's slightly inoffensive.
I want fan art of Darion as a Canadian
Canadian
mountie.
mountie.
Yeah, I think so. Christmas is coming. I think you should do fan art. In fact, we should do Secret Santa. I don't know how secret it'd be, but we should do fan art of each of the characters, and whomever gets me should do fan art of their favourite NPC. Oh, in fact, I tell you what, I'll do my fan art right now. Well, I don't want to show you actually the notes, but there you go, guys. Oh, did I get Diego?
Got a hat on it.
Oh, did I get Darion?
He's got a shield up, taking the dodge action.
In heavy armour. Oh, did I get Ox? This is a bit harder. Okay, that was a bit shit, but anyway, okay. This
Just bigger.
okay, so cool, great.
At least Darion has hat like Diego's now. I
Yeah.
think that's what I was established from that picture.
Yeah, I think I've just remembered that we're on a time frame. Okay, so what's the plan, guys?
Yeah, we're gonna head over to Breakbones' place.
To the ancestral home. Okay.
Yes.
So you ride across there. Who's going?
Me and Manchun Killy. Keep wanting to say Manchun.
You and Manchun. I meant Manchun. One of his
Yeah.
clones.
And I guess, yeah. And I guess, however many bodyguards that Manchun.
Another two.
No.
Another two bodyguards come.
Okay.
Okay.
And I guess Diego and Ox aren't coming because they're not saying anything.
Yeah, we are coming. Yeah.
Okay, so just the.
That's
one,
my
two,
fan out of Praxin.
That's actually not bad.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so you ride across there. It'll take you about 3 nights to kind of get there. Are you going to take the stuff that the smugglers had?
Take 1, maybe 2.
What to present to? Okay.
I know, like they're smugglers' clothes and stuff like that. Are you going across as you normally are?
Do we go incognito or?
I don't know if we can go
I could do
incognito.
incognito.
I know. Like
Yeah,
Diego's
but they
one.
haven't met these smugglers yet.
I'm too fabulous to do incognito.
Yeah, and I'm oathbound to tell the truth. And you're a dragonborn. That's. I mean, you can attempt it, Ox, but.
So incognito's out the window. Okay, you ride across to where the manor of Euphemia is expected to do. You kind of people ride ahead of you. They warn the local sheriff and whatnot. The sheriff says, "My lord, there've been some changes in the recent months," and he kind of takes you down to. So we've described Circazar and we've described Tethia as essentially the Iberian Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of get those quite warm, very dry areas. It's not quite on the with the big plateau that Spain has and so on. And it's not got quite the mountains and that, but it's basically a hot and dry country. This is a Louisiana swamp.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's kind of thick water, mangrove kind of trees, kind of ducking down into it, and it's pretty dark even though you're arriving towards the centre of the day. You can hear the crickets kind of in there, and you see just underneath the surface of the water things swirling, like there's alligators or crocodiles.
Is Ox perfectly at home?
Ox is perfectly at home.
Yeah.
And it reminds you strongly of the jungles of Chult. So much so that Darion kind of like takes a drink of water and whizzes into a bottle.
Black
Nothing finer than purified paladin piss.
Black dragons live in swamps.
Yeah, that's true. And you can see off in the distance these kind of peaked rooftops. And that's where the manor house is, but nobody's been back there for 20 years, the sheriff says. But this is just a few months. This is just a few months.
So there has been activity in Arsumo.
I come out here on my rounds every so often, and one day it was a small pond around the place, and the next when I came back, a few weeks later, it was, well, you can see it here. It's not been creeping much, and you see that? It points to a wooden stake that's about 3 feet into the kind of swamp, into the water. So you imagine that kind of Louisiana swamp where it's as much water as it is anything else. That was 2 weeks ago, so it's grown 3 feet since then, stabilising. That's a lot slower than it was. It's slowing down.
What the villagers are
But
weird.
it's okay, it's
What,
slowing
man?
down.
I thought this place was maintained by the local peasantry.
Yeah, tenant farmers.
Yeah.
They were one of the reasons why I came to have a look at it. Hadn't really heard much nor seen much from them.
Where are they now?
I assume they're in there.
Right. Let's
This is Breakbones land. It's not for me to kind of go around nosing around it.
Oh well, you're with me. So let's go.
Let's march on in.
How are you marching on in?
One
Oh,
foot after the
horseback.
other.
Splish, splash, splosh. You start to get up to your chest and start to sink into the mud beneath.
Couldn't we take the...
Not bad!
like,
Yeah. This is Louisiana swamp. This isn't like a little bit of surface water. This is pretty deep.
I unroll my carpet
Yeah. Okay.
to fly across.
Everybody
Yeah,
make initiative rolls for me, please.
Oh,
That's not great. I mean, it's appropriate, I guess.
whatever yours was, mine was arguably worse.
No, mine's worse.
So I got 6.
Okay, yours was worse than mine. 10.
3.
Oh!
So
Yeah, Diego,
19
you
combined. You rolled a
have-
19 combined.
I have a plus 7.
Yeah, but yeah, Diego, remember, you have a plus, like, ridiculous compared to us.
I'm not going to actually run it as a proper combat. I just wanted to get you guys to roll initiative. So we had a roll. You're flying along, and 5 spined devils come out of the sky, starts to swoop on, trying to hit you. Ox is controlling the carpet, he duck and dive. Diego launches himself onto the back one. The others, Darion comes in with a smite, smacks one, spins down. Ox takes you low down into the swamp, kind of rears right back up. Diego kills his, starts to fall down, lands back onto the carpet as Ox is taking him there. Another one lands behind, Ox completely decapitates it. You kind of can't quite steer it, you come skidding down into the lands in front of the mansion. There are 3 dead trees with zombies hanging from vines off of them as you, Darion, smite out of existence the last of the devils. The zombies drop to the ground, and you see on, just like you thought this was foliage on these trees, but it's several hundred just small, like little owl birds, and they kind of all turn in freaky unison to look at you. And wherever you move as you're fighting the zombies, they kind of all move in unison. And every time you drop a zombie, they go whoop 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 whoop. You feel a slight chill. You fight out the zombies, and then 2 Bob devils
These are the fans.
lunge out of the kind of dilapidated mansion at you. That's to and fro there. Ox wails in on them. Darion smashes, gets out a top line smite. Diego lands on their heads together, covers them up with scarves so they can't see, imposing the blinding condition. Runs up and down their backs on spider climb. You manage to down them down, and then you head in there, and there are 10 brigands. Fight tooth and nail. They're a lot easier to fight through, but they've got the strength of numbers. They pepper you with crossbow bolts, kind of manage to kind of dwindle you down. And then you walk into the main chamber, and there's a number of oil paintings, and you recognise the familiar resemblance to the Breakbone family. And there, with his head in his hands, sobbing, he looks up at you, wild-eyed and panic-stricken, and you recognise Wolf Rygor, the second in command a half-elf who was second in command at the camp of Vengeance. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't stop him. I thought I could, but I can't. He took the blood. Breakbones is a vampire. It's doomed to us all. It's doomed to us all. He couldn't ever forgive you. He's going to kill you and destroy everything. Valindra has turned him. Valindra has turned him. And he grabs a dagger that you didn't see and he stabs it straight into his heart. I loved him. And he collapses down. And that's where I'm ending the session.
Shadow Mantle get to him.
I wasn't worried until you said Valindra.
Who's Valindra?
Oh, she's bad news from Forgotten Realms.
So that would have been an epic fight.
Yeah, I just wanted to figure out that.
In the floating piece of land in Chult, and Zook tried to flirt with her. It wasn't very successful.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Very beautiful lady, as it happens.
The elf.
Which is not in a lich form.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, all our chickens are coming back to roost, aren't they?
So we find out at the end of this rather kind of fractured episode. That would have been a fantastic battle if Discord hadn't.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd have been so good.
Well, I thought about running it and pausing and running, but it would be another month down the line, and I wanted this as the keynote. This is the introduction of Darion's rival, essentially. Lady de Winter facing off against Diego.
Breakbones.
Vampire Breakbones.
How long until we get another combat then? Because I would have loved to do that.
I'm sure there'll be another combat in our near futures. So the question really is, who's going to be Ox's rival?
Oh god, it's going to be like some colossal red dragon or something, isn't it?
That is a good idea.
I don't know.
Let me make it.
No.
It's brother.
It's got to be someone from the past. Who would
How
it
are
be?
you spelling colossal? Okay. So yes. So
Could be the brother he doesn't know about.
I have 3 brothers. One's dead.
Oh, the dead one.
there's a theme. There's a theme. You walk out into the air of the courtyard in front, and there's little small birds that are still there, kind of look at you. Whoop-oo, whoop-oo, and they all flutter off. Again, in this like freakily disconcerting uniform way. Even all the the wings flap at exactly the same point. It's almost as if there's one of them and it's just projected out. It's very, very strange. Anyway, I'll give you XP for that fight. I think Ox, you were downed 3 times, but made your saving throws. I think Darion, I think one of them managed to break your armor. And Diego,
I died once.
You came through unscathed that time. But there we go. Okay, so right, Breakbones is back. It's like getting the band back together again. Because I have no ideas of my own. I'm just ripping them out of other adventure modules that we played.
Yeah, but he was a pretty important character.
He was, and he has got an axe to grind. A vampiric, enchanted, life-drinking axe to grind.
I've got an axe to grind in his skull.
But there you go.
I'm really looking forward to the chat with Breakbones about what surely brought him to, well, apart from us, what brought him to the side with a lich?
I mean, I think Undril was pretty instrumental to it, to be honest.
Oh, there we go. Right, do you see the paladin shifting the blame? Boom! Do you see this book?
Yeah.
This book.
He wouldn't be able.
Oh, oh. I managed to get some Teflon to coat my raptor-covered shoulders.
Yeah. He's going to have this massive beef with us, and we're all just going to be like, no, it wasn't us.
Oh, it's
It
Undril.
was this gnome called Zook. I think you've forgotten.
Yeah, it does occur to you now that you're thinking about Zook. What did happen to the real druid? He hasn't been seen since the night before the wedding. Right. Okay. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for bearing with us, viewers. We had some Discord challenges. It caused the session to be a bit fractured. We had to speed through some stuff that would have probably been quite fun. But I wanted to get the story note done. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to get the story note done is because our next session is not going to be a normal session. We're doing a Christmas special. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a Before They Were Famous. So the guys' characters have... Have I GM'd Darion since he was level 1? Since he was in diapers?
No, he
2.
came in.
You were only level 2, maybe. or
Certainly
3.
when he could smite, so I think it was level 2, yeah.
We'd
No, I
only
think
done
I
one
ran a
session.
session with him, didn't I?
Oh,
like
yes,
Brad.
when it wasn't part of the main group.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they've been together since they were little kiddie winks, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk. It's going to be probably a mixture of out of character, in character stuff, and we'll be reminiscent probably about some of the games that we've played, some of the sessions, some of the events in that. But it'll also explain the journey from how they kind of got together, the jungles of Chult through to kind of where they are now. And we're going to do that on, I think, is it Wednesday the 19th?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday the 19th. Probably at the normal 8:30 kick-off for it. Okay. If you've got any feedback, any questions, hit us up at the usual places. We're on at Mostly Off Topic on Twitter, mostlyoftopic@gmail.com. Facebook /Mostly Off Topic. Don't know if there's any route to get through Twitch. Our YouTube channel, which is Mostly Off Topic, just basically Mostly Off Topic. And we'll
Mostly
see
off
where we're at.
topic.
Yeah. If you enjoyed it, great. If you didn't enjoy it, please let us know what you didn't like. And we don't need Josh. We can chip him out if it was a real problem for you. And once again, apologies for the technical issues, completely out with our control. But we stuck through. We showed resilience, and that was a good thing. Okay. Anything to say, Josh?
Thanks for joining.
Anything to say, Ben?
Fuck liches, man.
I tell you
Not in the literal
what,
sense.
that's exactly what that captured brigand wants to do.
He's welcome to do so.
Anything,
Should we use him as bait?
Martin?
I wanted to smite a demon.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see what we can do. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Speak soon. See you next time.
Speak at you soon.
Oh,
Bye.
before we go, we have Waterdeep Dragon Heist on Tuesday.
Yes.
We do.
Great.
Join us
Tuesday,
for that.
8ish. Be there. Or don't, I guess. But anyway, but be there. Be there. Cheers.
And
Bye.
we'll be in squares.
Yeah.